guys, how are you doing? Happy Saturday. I don't normally come on Saturdays, but today I'm free. So I'm Julie with Nothing is Wasted Designs, and I have missed y'all. I have kind of been off the grid. We had Thanksgiving, and then yesterday I just kind of relaxed, and today I've been relaxing. And so here I am. So we're going to do an ornament tonight. I'm going to take one of these Hobby Lobby ornaments that they come in, I think it was an 8-pack or something like that. And, oh, you know what I didn't get? Hold on. I know what I needed to do is get my, I guess I'm going to do some slick stick, y'all. Well, I learned a important lesson that I will share with y'all, and that is that if you have Dixie Belle sticks, slick stick, or you have, hold on, oh, I hope I didn't turn that on its side, because I learned that lesson. I don't know where it went to. Bonding Boss. If you have slick stick, I think I had to throw a whole brand new jar away. Slick stick or Dixie Belle's Bonding Boss. Do not turn it on its side. I turned it on its side and it leaked out of the container and it glued the lid, brand new 16-ounce jar, and it glued the whole lid together, and there was no, I don't think there's any way. I'm going to try and see if I can figure out how to, how do I want to do this, y'all? I guess I'll use this brush here. All right, so what I'm going to do, so what happened was that it leaked out, and so if y'all don't know what slick stick is, it's exactly what it says it is. Dixie Belle had slick stick before they had Bonding Boss. Now they have a combination of Boss and slick stick, and it's called Bonding Boss. And what slick stick does is it takes and if you have any kind of slick surface, plastic, glass, anything shiny, then what it does is it sticks to it, and then it makes it so that your next coat, oh, this is like, okay, well, we're not going to use that, so that's empty. This one's dried out. I haven't used it in a while, so we're going to open up a new container of it. I'm still going to put the lid on this. I'm going to throw it away, and we are going to get, I've got a big old jar of it somewhere in here, I think. I just saw it. There it is. All right, so this is a brand new jar of it, and I don't use it that often, so it's gonna last me quite a while. All right, let me get my little, this is my little weeder that comes, it's a Cricut thing, and I don't do anything with Cricut. I just know that it's for weeding, like vinyls and things like that. All right, so I'm going to open this. No issues opening it. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to show y'all how I am going to, ooh, all right, let's see if we're going to need to, you know what? Ooh, I don't want this on my glass mat. Hold on. All right, remember that it sticks to glass. So I'm going to take, and I'm going to put a silicone mat down on my glass mat, y'all, so that it does not stick to my glass mat. I did not think about that. All right, so here we go. So now we're safe. And we're going to see if I can stir this. Let's stir this and see what happens. It's got kind of a yellow film on top. Okay, we're good. It just needs to be stirred. It's nice and creamy and smooth like it's supposed to be. I don't know, whatever it's made out of, the stuff, something that it's made out of is sitting on the top of this. I have Bonding Boss and I have Slick Stick. And, you know, I just ordered a small container of the white Bonding Boss. And I kind of overlooked that I've got this 16-ounce jar of Slick Stick. So I'm going to be slick sticking some stuff so that so that it doesn't go bad. I guess it does go bad. It dries out because it's water-based. So anytime you have a water-based product, you take the chance of it drying out. All right, this is what we're going to play with tonight. This is called Velvet Powder, and it's by Pentart. And so I'm going to make an ornament. I'm thinking I'm going to put it on the back of the ornament. We will see how this shakes out. And now, the one thing that I do want to tell you, I should have put some soap in my, see how nice and smooth that is? I should have put some soap in my water because you do not want to throw this down your drain, okay? When you clean your brushes, throw it outside. If you have like a place in the woods or... just do not put this down your pipes because it's Slick Stick. Remember, it's gonna stick to slick surfaces. So I don't know, even if you water it down, what it'll do. So I'm just stirring this up, making sure everything is stirred. And then what we're going to do is we are going to, all right, let me get the top of this lid in here because there's like something, it's kind of a creamy off-white color. That's probably the part that makes it stick. All right, there we go. Oh, and I got some in the jar too, so it'll probably, the lid. All right, hang on. I don't want to do the same thing that I just did and have this glue another jar shut. Gets expensive that way. All right, so let me stir this a little bit more. It's still got a little bit more of this kind of an off-white milkish look to it. I'm not seeing comments, but anyway, so if you see the red live button up at the top, be sure and say hey, let me know that you're there. I appreciate y'all and your support. I've been kind of offline, so it's probably hard to find me these days. Because it doesn't take long for Facebook to forget who you are, right? All right, so we're going to put that in there. I ate something that gave me a stomach ache. And every so often. All right, this is looking good, y'all. All right, now I want to show you how I'm going to do this. Otherwise, I would have done this ahead of time. We're going to kind of stipple this. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because I don't want any brush strokes. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull this off of here. And I'm going to put it somewhere where I'm not going to lose it, maybe right here on my Lazy Susan. And you know what else? I probably should get, I guess I could use like a long, we could do this. Or I could stick my finger up in this. I might stick my finger up in this. All right, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to take this and I'm going to dip my brush in here. You really should probably, this is an old brush. I'm not worried about it if the Slick Stick doesn't come out of it. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take and I'm going to stipple this. And by doing this way, I won't get any brush strokes. Now, technically, you are supposed to dry this for an hour in between coats, but we're not going to do that, okay? Just so you know, I need something that's going to give me a little bit more stability. All right, hang on. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Let's see if I can go this way. It's not much better. All right, I got it. I got it. I got it. All right, so what I'm doing is I've got the stick in there and I'm holding it on the back side and I'm hoping, yep, this is better. This is going to keep it steady for me, or steady enough that I can paint it. And just stippling this so that I can get a base coat on there. If I brush this, I'm going to get the, all right, here we go. Let's see if I can get this. If I brush this, I'm going to get brush strokes on here. But by doing this way, I won't. And it'll look more like snow too. And I am thinking that I may want to crackle this too. So the verdict is still out. We'll see what we're going to do. We're going to just kind of play with this and see where it goes. How many of you got snow? We got cold weather. We got cold weather. Cold weather for northeastern or southeastern Virginia. It's been like in the 30s here, and 30s is cold for us. Got a friend who lives in Indiana, and he tells me that when it's 30 that it's warm, and it's like ain't nothing warm about 30 degrees. But anyway, so all right. Before I do anything else, I'm going to try and dry some of this. So I know it's a couple days later, but I want to hear about y'all's Thanksgiving. Who'd you get together with? What'd you eat? Did you eat anything that was more different from the norm? We've got turkey, mashed potatoes, green beans, sweet potato casserole, stuffing. Y'all are going to crack up when you hear what we did for Thanksgiving. I'll wait till this is turned off. Oh no! This is melting. I'm melting. Oh no. Okay, well, that's a lesson learned. I didn't bring a backup for this. All right, can y'all see? Can y'all see that? Oh my goodness. Can't make that up, that's for sure. All right, well, this is going to be the back. We're still going to move forward. I'm going to have to be careful with drying this. Wow, I never expected that to happen. Can y'all see that? Look at that. All right, so here we go. I'm going to go in with a second coat. Look at how little this takes. So this jar is going to last me quite a while, y'all. All right, so now I'm going to show you the first and the second coat so that you can see. Can you see? No, you can't. You can't see the difference. Try to see if I can get the light right. No, it's not. But it's just, it is making a difference with this second coat. I'm going to go ahead and, oh, that is hilarious. That thing just melted right on down. All right, so there's a lesson for you. Don't put a heat machine or whatever this is called, whatever Facebook will allow us to call. Jeez. What country do we live in? But anyway, you don't want to put too much heat on these things because it will melt. It wasn't even that hot. At least I didn't think it was. And boy, did it just kind of implode. All right, here we go. What's that? What you're hearing is that stick inside. All right. Well, this was going to be so cool looking too, I thought. Oh, well. Plan B, right? Just keep moving forward. This is going to be our prototype. and we're not going to let it stop us. That was not in the plan tonight. So, did anybody have something different? Pumpkin pie? Oh, we went to Cracker Barrel. My husband is 1.5 hours away. Our son is 3.5 hours away. And my husband is halfway in between. And so he's taking care of his 94-year-old mom. She's, well, not really taking care of her, but just kind of checking up, making sure that people who are taking care of her are taking care of her. And anyway, okay, this is looking good, y'all. I want to crackle this. I think I want to crackle this, but I think since this is going to be just kind of a, I don't know, we'll do a different one with crackle, because I don't want to use the crackle on this, since I know it's not going to be. We could still hang it on the, you know, give it away or hang it or do whatever. All right, I'm going to put this. I'm not going to do this part up top, I don't think. Maybe just a little bit up in there. I probably should have put a glove on. Okay, so there is that. Let me put this in my water. Switch hands with this. All right, I need a hair dryer that is not as hot as the heat tool. All right, so remember, do not turn this on its side, y'all. That's how I glued the, because it adheres to plastic, it adheres to glossy things, it adheres to glass, it adheres to itself if you have. All right, I'm going to try and see if I can get this away from it. We'll see. I think we'll use, this will be the front side. We'll do that, the crumpled side will be the back side. So, back to my Thanksgiving. All right. I don't want it to get too hot. All right, it's looking pretty good. It kind of looks like it has, I don't know if y'all can see this or not. It kind of looks like it has tissue paper on there. It looks just plain white. Okay, can you see some of the, it's just really not showing up. Right there, if you look right kind of there, it's got a, this is the first time that I've done the stippling like this, and I'm going to tell y'all, I really like this. I'm going to do this more often. I took a class, and all right, I like that. And that was one of the tips that I got. So there you go. So that's a freebie for y'all. All right, so the next thing I want to do is we are going to, I've got to decide which one of these little guys I want to put on here. He's got to be small enough. Well, I kind of like this one. Where's my ribbon that I was going to use? Because that kind of matches it. Maybe, hold on a minute. Maybe this one? Let me see which ribbon looks the best with this. This is kind of cute. Let me try these guys. I think these will fit on here. All right, let's see if we can get these on here. We may have to cut this. Any of y'all sew? You know how when you're doing something on a circle, on a curve, you have to kind of clip it? All right, do we want that, or do we want the Mr. and Mrs. Snowman? I'm thinking, let's do Mr. and Mrs. Snowman. What do y'all think? Tell me which ones you like. I'm thinking this one right down here. I think that'll be cute. And then I think it's going to match. Let me make sure it's going to match this. Yep. All right, let's do that. So let me get a water guy, water pen, water brush that goes backwards. It's the craziest thing. I had to look up on YouTube how to open up the, what's it called? Water pen or something like that. All right, here we go, y'all. Let's come through here. So it was so good. Oops, we're going to see if we can come right on through here. I hadn't seen our younger son in a while, so it was really good to visit with him. We just sat in. It was really nice. I mean, the food was decent. You know, it could have been worse, but could have been better. But we weren't there. I mean, we were there to eat, but we were also there just for the company. And I'm going to tell y'all, this is the second year in a row that I have not cooked for Thanksgiving. And I'm sold. I am sold. We've got a small family. All right, let me see if I can get this off of here. We have a small family. And every year my family says, we don't need all this food. And I'm like, oh, but it's Thanksgiving. And I mean, I literally just go all out. I like grind my own grain to make my bread. And then after I make my bread, I dehydrate the bread. And after I dehydrate the bread, oh, where'd my scissors go? I turn it into, well, after I make the bread, I cut it and turn it into croutons, and then I dehydrate the croutons. Uh-oh, almost cut his hat. Dehydrate the, I didn't want quite that much of a straight cut, but here we are, right? And so I'll make the croutons, and then, I mean, I literally start 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, and I'm making something every day to prep, because I do it all from scratch. You know, nothing from the box, and nothing from a bag. And I was really strict about the way I ate for a while. Where'd my pen go? What did I do with it? There it is, right here. And then I would, the pie pumpkins, I would cut those up and cook those in my pressure cooker, and then de-seed them, and I mean, it was a lot. And every year my family would say, we don't need all this food. But then we would eat for a week, and you know, so that was kind of nice because I didn't have to cook after Thanksgiving. All right, I'm just kind of trying to come around the back side of this. These are kind of close together. They probably could have, I don't know who I got this from. This is from, I think I got it from, doesn't say, EU Distribution and Publishers. I think I got this from Warehouse Central, maybe? All right, come on. Give me some water. Doesn't have their name on it, so I'm not quite sure. All right, we're going to come around the horn here. And I'm going to go ahead and rip this off of here. And we'll get this out of the way. So anyway, my family just said, you know, we really don't need all this food. Because it was just 4 of us. And I mean, I would make like double recipes of everything because, you know, everybody always likes to have the sweet potato casserole left over and the mashed potatoes left over. And so, but last year we went down to the Outer Banks in North Carolina. Okay, y'all, this is really cute. I'm hoping his hat's going to be okay. Look at that. Isn't he cute? Aren't they cute? All right, we're going to get them on here, and we're going to get some Mod Podge. All right, I'm going to go I'm going to live dangerously, and I am going to always keep saving my, what do you call them? Fan brushes for like special occasions, and then I never use them. And then I see everybody else using their fan brushes, so guess what I'm going to use today? All right, so this is going to go on here. I think we're going to be okay with this, y'all. All right, the bad side is, it almost looks like a canteen. The bad side's going to be in the back, and then we're going to come in here. So anyway, last year, my husband actually made a turkey, green beans, and I need like a little bit of water. Hang on a minute. So don't need this full strength. So let me put a little bit of water in here. Just enough to get my brush wet. So I'm going to dip this in here, and then I'm going to dip it in here just to make it a little bit wetter, not quite so thick. I'm going to see if I like this fan brush idea. So far I do, because it really gives you some nice smooth coverage. All right, so we're going to put this on here. All right, here we go, y'all. Kind of a one-shot deal. Not many second chances with this stuff. Which, by the way, my son has a song called Second Chances that he wrote, and it is amazing. All right, hold on a minute. I'm going to get my scissors because I can see it's starting to buckle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to lift this up. And I am going to just kind of gently make this so that, all right, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to get some more water here and get a little bit of this Mod Podge. And I'm going to kind of let that fold over so that it doesn't pucker. And then I'm going to just kind of come down here, a little bit of water so that it's not quite so thick. So my husband made our Thanksgiving last year. We had it Wednesday night, and then just trying to keep this, trying to figure out how I'm going to keep this from puckering. All right, so I'm going to come in here with the scissors again, just like you would clip a curve. I kind of need it. You'll see where it's going to pucker. And then just kind of lay it on top of itself. You don't want it to wrinkle. And I'm going to come over this. I got an embroidery machine when my mom and dad went home to be with Jesus. I got a little bit of inheritance money, and I got a embroidery machine, and also it doubles as a sewing machine and as I need some more water. A sewing machine and an embroidery machine. Boy, I tell you what, I had so much fun with that. When I started with Chalk Couture back in October of 21, this one's got a wrinkle in it. No, I don't want a wrinkle in it. Oh well, I don't want to play with it too much because I might cause it to mess up. All right, here we go. It's a little bit of this, a little bit of water. bit more water and a little bit of this on here. All right, I'm sold on this fan brush, y'all. I've seen a lot of people using it, and I am definitely sold on it. All right, a little bit of water, a little bit of Mod Podge. We're gonna just kind of, all right, I think, you know what, I think since we're practicing, we ought to just practice and see what happens. I think we should crackle this. I really think we should. Okay, and I'm going to take this all the way out to, there's a line that kind of got on the imploding line. And I'm going to take this out to that line. And then I think what I'm going to do, we're going to dry this. Oh, this is going to be cute. I think I need a little bit smaller image or a little bit. I've got some, what do you call them? Hey, Nana, how are you? Hey, Lindell, welcome. Thanks for hopping on. I have some ornaments that are like little, like square. So I think that that may be a better choice for this. All right, this is what we have, y'all. And I think I want to, oh, that's okay. That's okay. I'm glad that, that you're supporting her. They, with all that she's going through, I think it's a great thing to be there for her, Lindell. All right, so I'm sold on the, this is the first time I've used the fan brush. I'm sold. All right, I'm gonna clean this out. I probably should have had two waters. One for the slick stick water and one for the regular water. But here we are. All right, so we're gonna, I don't know if you were here, Lindell, when I dried this, but if you if you look at this, it kind of like melted. So if you have any of these ornaments from Hobby Lobby, the clear ones, don't put too much heat on it. It's the first time I've used it. I've seen a lot of people work with it, and I thought, oh, but I don't want to ruin my fan brush. Oh, it's a game changer for me. I'm glad that I tried it. All right. I don't know that I can crackle on this, y'all, because it takes a lot of heat to dry this if I crackle it. Should we try it? I've got to do like 5 minutes of heat to get it to crackle with the crackle that I use. Let's try it. Let's just try it and see what happens. And then I'll show you what else we're going to do. All right, we're going to crackle this first. So let me get my crackle medium that I bought. And I'm going to give y'all another mistake that I made. Let's see where it is. Here it is. All right. I don't know what I was thinking when I bought this, but all right, this is 50 milliliters and 50 milliliters. You can see how little these things are. It is not very big. I paid $13 for these two here. And I thought, well, I don't want to buy a really big jar because the last time I bought like 200 milliliters. And it was like, and it ended up going bad. So, I didn't realize that there is a, where is it? There's an in-between size. So I would recommend, don't get the 50 milliliters, which is a total of 100. All right, I haven't opened this one yet. I got twice as much for like, what is this? This was like $15, so $2 more. So don't do what I did. I recommend, this is really a pretty crackle. I like this crackle. And I'm not an affiliate or anything with it. I like this crackle. It's just pretty. But anyway, you can see these two were $13. These two were $15. And I don't remember if I got it on sale. I don't think I did. But I don't know who I bought this from, but I definitely won't go back just simply because it must, either it was overpriced or I just wasn't paying much attention. So, but I would get, if I were y'all, and then there's a 200 milliliter, which I think is like twice as much as this. And I thought I was going to use more than I did because I go in spurts where I'll do something for a long while. And then I'll get out of the I don't know, the habit, not really habit, but the wanting to do something. And then I won't use it for a while. Do y'all do that? Okay, yeah, this looks good. I don't know. Maybe the little guy was the right way to go. We'll see. All right, so here we go. We're going to use what you have to do. This is going to be a real stretch, especially after seeing it melt my thing earlier today. But so what you do is you come on here. I'm not going to do the back side because I'm gonna play with this this velvet powder. All right, we're going to take this and we are going to crackle this. So I'm just going to go over this whole top side, top of the ornament. I'm going to do the snowman and the snow woman. I'm kind of scared to see what's going to happen after this thing melted. Oh boy. That's a good thing I'm a good sport, because I would have my, I'd be all upset if I wasn't. Because, but this is, you know, it's like, this is what my thinking is. Okay, so you messed up. So what does that do? Literally, it frees you up to not worry about if you're going to mess up anymore or not, because you've already messed up. And that's where you get to the point where you stretch beyond what you already know, because you have no fear anymore. It's like, okay, well, let's just try this. Well, let's try that. Well, that didn't work. Well, that didn't work either. And you get a whole bunch of that didn't work, and it tells you, you know, just kind of gets you to, you know, stretch your boundaries, open your wings, and fly, right? So, all right, we're going to go over this and see what happens. At this stage of the game, all bets are off, right? All right. I'm going to put this in my water. Now, you could, I don't have time to do it on a live, but you could just leave this. Hey, Cindy. Oh, it's Pentart. It's Pentart. Lindell, you could just leave this overnight and come back in the morning and do the second part of it. All right, let me rinse my brush out. But what I have found is that, because I've tried letting it sit overnight, and what I have found is that there is, for whatever reason, there's an element of heat that makes a difference with this crackle. The more you heat it up, the more crackles you get. Well, since we already blew it with the, let's see if I can put this over here. I can put that over there. So yeah, let me show it to you again. There's two parts. This is, I thought it was just, it smells like Elmer's glue, but there's something else in this that is not in Elmer's glue, because I've tried this with the part 2. This is part 1. This is part 2, and this one kind of smells like, some people like it, some people don't. You know, everybody's different with what they like Oh no, I shouldn't have thrown that away. Oh, I guess yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to keep it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and open this. I think it smells kind of like honey. That one doesn't have any smell. But it doesn't have like, you know, a really strong chemical smell. I try to stay away from, I'm gonna stick that back up in the lid, y'all. I try to stay away from anything that has a strong chemical smell. And I will have to say that one of the things that I use on a regular basis that has a strong, well, not a regular base, but enough that it could be called a regular base. I just put my hair in that, didn't I? Oops, this is one. All right, we're going to put the lid on this. This is nice and creamy, so this may be the right size for me. I may have made the right call, huh? All right, so now what we have to do is we got to dry this. All right, and this is where I forgot what I was talking about. All right, here we go, y'all. Fingers crossed. I'm going to have to keep this away. Hope it doesn't implode some more. Oh, but I did do it overnight, and the crackles weren't as good as I would have liked them to be, and I put the hair dryer on it, and then the crackles really came out. So there's something with the element of the heat being added to this that makes a difference. But you see, this is going to just implode. It's already starting to do it. I'm just going to have to do it at a distance and hope for the best. Y'all can see it. Can you see it? See that? So we got to dry this until it's clear. I wanted to get back to do some more rice paper because I haven't done any rice paper in really a while. And I have a real pretty stencil from Corey Segru. She actually painted that. And anyway, so I want to do something with that. And kind of bring that to life. Oh, it is, isn't it? It only has, I've got another heat gun. I think I might need to pull that. Oh, I didn't like the sound of that. This is my husband's paint heat gun, or paint heat tool, or whatever we want to call it. Michael. I'm going to take a break on that. I know it needs to be dry. Okay, so I got to show you all the deal I got. All right, you know these arch surfaces? This is the 18. It's like 11, something like 12 by 18 inches. But you don't have 18 inches in here to work with. And I got an idea for this. But I had $10 in rewards. And I thought, well, you know, I don't really need anything. And then I pulled that out. And I thought, oh, well, that's something I could spend my rewards on. So Michael's has 40% off right now, probably through December 1st, y'all. So these boards normally cost $15, so 40% off. So I got 2 of them, so that's $30. And 40% off is $12. And that ended up being like, like $18 or something like that. And then with tax, it was like 18 and some change. And I had $10. I got it from Michael's, Cindy. They're 40% off right now, so you should snag some. And but anyway, yeah. And then I had $10 off. I ended up paying, what was it, like $8.46 for 2 of them. $8.46 for 2 of them. I was pretty excited about that. So that's less than $5 a piece. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to pull my other heat tool out and see. But I did a really cute, I don't know if y'all remember the pig that I did with that. It was a howdy. It was a pig theme. Hey, Sherry. It was a pig theme with Grace Creations. And I used my sea sponge. And I had like a marbling look on the back of, boy, this is really just going to town, y'all. All right, let's see what happens. All right, remember, this is the lesson. Do not use your heat tool on these, you see how it's all imploded, y'all? You do not want to do your heat tool on, all right, we're going to get to the back. That's going to be what I really want to do tonight is to work with, all right, here we go, is to work with this velvet stuff. All right, this is the top coat. This is component 2, and you can't get them mixed up because they're labeled. Well, I mean, I guess you could, but if you can put the wrong lid on it, and but it says it on both the top and the bottom, so you can always go back and fix it. All right, so this is component 2. I have to find something different, maybe a paper mache or something. Oh, I got to show y'all another ornament that I made that I want to do. I've got a, you know, the round balls that, paper mache balls that Hobby Lobby has. I want to do something with one of those. I think that'll be fun. All right, here we go, y'all. And y'all know me, I don't usually grunge a lot of things, but I might do some dark wax today. So, oh, shocker, shocker, right? Okay. Yeah, I bought a new heat tool, and it sounds like I need to pull it out because I didn't like the noise. Did y'all hear the noise when it like changed gears or something? It's not supposed to do that. And I don't move fast enough to get out of the way of a fire. So I think that it's time to pull the new heat tool out. Okay, so all I did was I took the second part of this. All right, that's number 2. And it does. It says component 2 down here at the bottom. And it's got a number 2 at the top. So it's kind of foolproof. They probably figured that some of us aren't paying attention when we're working. And that would be a good thing because I would need that help. Because it's like I look down at my desk and it's like, where did it go? Thanks, Sherry. I appreciate that. So yeah, so back to last year. I never told you what we did on Thanksgiving Day. We got together with our friends who come up from Mississippi every year, and we went to Captain George's, which is a seafood restaurant around here. It's an all-you-can-eat seafood restaurant at the Outer Banks, and there's one nearby us too. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens here. I gotta hold it way far away so it doesn't melt it. So my husband cooked a turkey, green beans, and mashed potatoes for Thanksgiving Eve last year. And then we went out to eat for Thanksgiving. So this year I was like, I'm kind of liking this not cooking, y'all. I think I'm sold on this idea. So, but we really didn't have much of a choice this year because, like I said, I'm at one end of a portion of Virginia. Our younger son is at another end of Virginia, and then my husband is in between. So we met there. He's taking care of his mom, checking. She's in assisted living, but where we live, I know. Captain George's down at the Outer Banks, Sherry? That's where we did Thanksgiving last year. But anyway, That's what we did last year. This year, we went to Cracker Barrel, and it was packed. I mean, y'all, it was packed. We went twice, because my husband and I were hungry. I had been fasting for several days, and come 3 o'clock, I was hungry. And our son still hadn't arrived yet, so we went and I had the traditional Thanksgiving dinner at Cracker Barrel, which was decent. You know, we were there for the company. We weren't, I mean, the food too, but we were really there for the company. And it just keeps getting worse. Definitely a prototype. I gotta back this thing up because the front's starting to do its thing. I don't even know if it's going to be able to crackle. Oh, it is. Okay. We're off and running. So what we're going to do is we're going to crackle this. That's the first time I've been to that, well, it's been a long time since we've been to Captain George's, and the first time is to Outer Banks, because we usually go to like the, what's it called? We go to the grocery stores and get them to cook the shrimp for us and bring it back to the cottage. All right, y'all, this is cracking. I gotta see if I can get it in the light, because I gotta have enough crack to, all right. All right, it does have crack, but you're not going to be able to see it because I can barely see it. But when I put the, all right, so let me ask you this. Do y'all want me to put dark wax on this, or do you want me to put like a gold, I think gold gilding wax is what we should do. I don't know, I'll let y'all decide. Dark wax or gold gilding wax? I think the gold would be pretty. It's cracking. It's cracking. It is cracking, but it's hard to see because it's light on white. So what do y'all think? Dark or gold? Dark wax or gold? I kind of like the gold idea because we're going to be working with this velvet. It's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. So where did y'all stay, Sherry, when y'all were down there? We're at the 2-mile marker. All right, let me see. It feels dry. I'm just trying to see, get it in the light. It looks like it's cracked, so. All right, so the gold, okay, that's kind of what I'm thinking too, Sherry. Anybody else have a guess? All right, let me get this. And this is where I pull out one of my, my throwaway brushes. Let me see, this guy here. See those bristles? 10. Okay, so you're in Nag's Head. My dad had a store down there. He had a furniture store down there when he was alive. And it was where, you know where True Value is? I think it's True Value. Is that still what it's called? All right, here we go. I'll try. I don't think y'all are going to be able to see this, but let's see. I'm just trying. There's cracks, but I don't think you're going to be able to see them. I can't get the light. Maybe up at the top here. Can you see? It's really, really faint. All right, so let's just put this on here and go for it. So what we're going to do, I love working with this stuff. I don't know. I just really like the crackling and the waxes that you can fill in with this. All right, so what I like to do is I'm going to come in here, and this is why this brush is all kind of wonky. And I just put this on here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come on and I'm going to just kind of, all right, here we go. It may not be as cracked as I thought it was. All right, let me get we're going to put a little bit on here. Oh yeah. And then we're going to take it off of there. Yep, it's doing it. I love this. I love this stuff. I love this stuff. And then I'll show y'all what we have here. All right, so you can see the difference. Can you see the difference? This is what's this side, and this is the other side. And this is the fine line crackling. The classic gives a different look. This is the fine line crackle. All right, so now I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to take my brush, and I'm going to go over this. And I'm going to just go over the whole thing. And then I'm going to come back. And you want to kind of wipe it off before it sets. I probably should have not gone over the snowmen. All right, so there's another lesson. It's not too bad. But I think if I were, the next time I do it, all right, so this is what we have so far. Let's see if y'all can see that. Isn't that cool looking? I love this stuff. Did I say I love this stuff? I love this stuff. All right, and then we're going to come over here. And I'm only doing the front side because the back side, I'm going to put the velvet on there. All right, and then we're going to wipe it off. So fun. All right, I think I'm glad I got the bigger crackle jars, y'all, because I think I'm going to be doing some crackling for Christmas. I just love this. This didn't lay as flat as I'd like to. I think I'm going to choose a different, wow, love it. Okay, so this is what we have. You know, there we go. That's better. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, so that's all we're going to do for that. Now, I'm going to leave this out because I may, well, no, I might do something different for that. All right, so I did not bring any olive oil here with me, but this is, all right, just basic rule of thumb. Oil takes away oil. Water takes away water. So if you have an oil-based paint or an oil-based gilding wax, oh, cool, with baking soda. Ooh, you'll have to send that to me, Lindell. I'd like to, I love, you know me, I love to learn. All right, since this is oil-based, what I will do is I will put this in olive oil. Or I guess you could use any kind of oil that you want, but that's what I have in my house. I will put this in olive oil, and the olive oil will clean this brush. I don't have to use mineral spirits. And this is kind of strong smelling, but it's not too bad. It's got kind of a sweet smell to it. This is redesigned by Prima, and I think I've had this tube for 3 years. And you just use a little tiny bit of it. But I don't have any oil over here, so what I'm going to do is just kind of get some of this out of the brush. And then when I get offline, I'm not going to put it in water because that's all it's going to do is they're going to repel each other. And so just remember, if you're working with oil, you want to put your brushes in oil. If you're working with water, you want to put your brushes in water. And I will tell you right now, I don't have one over here to show you. Dixie Belle has a brush cleaner called Scrubby. Smells like freshly cut oranges or freshly cut lemons. I usually get the orange. And right now, Dixie Belle, and I'm not an affiliate with Dixie Belle, but right now Dixie Belle has a sale going on where you can buy 2 of the scrubbies and get 1 free. And the free one that they give you is the color the orange scent. And And then it's got like a little scrubby. It's got soap on one side, which is just, I don't know, it just makes your hands feel so good. You can clean your sink with it. You can clean your brushes with it. You can clean your hands with it. You can clean your elbows with it if you've stuck have you used it before, Lindell? I love that stuff. I just love it. Gosh, I think I bought some of that about 3 years ago, and I was sold. Now I do that, and then if my brushes sit around and I don't clean them and they get real hard, then what I do is I take and put my brushes in Murphy oil soap, and that will soften it, and then I run like a fork or a fine tooth comb, but I'll just let the brush sit in there for 24 hours. Just walk away from it. I'm looking for glue. Okay, I think I'm going to try Mod Podge on the back of this for this, y'all. We're going to see what happens with that. I probably could have come. All right, before I do that, I think I'm going to come in here and come a little bit closer to the edge. And it's not going to matter because I'm going to put a ribbon here, but I didn't get quite close enough. All right, this is where we are going to do our velvet. And I have never worked with this stuff before, so this is an experiment night. All right. What was I talking about? I forget. All right, here we go. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come in here, and I probably should get a piece of paper, shouldn't I? Hang on. I've got some card making paper in here somewhere. Oh, here's a sheet right here. Tear a piece of this out of this notebook, because I have a feeling it's going to get messy. All right, so we're going to put this on my paper. I want you all to be able to see this. And this was $12. I don't know if I got a good deal on this or not, but that's what I spent. And you can see I haven't opened it, so this is what it looks like. And I don't need that. All right, so here we go, y'all. I'm gonna use my fan brush again. I think I'm sold on this fan brush. And we're gonna come over this, and I'm gonna put just a good coat. And I really I wanna make sure that this edge, that I have a nice smooth edge. So I'm going to take the fan brush and I'm going to move it towards the center. I'm going to go along the edge and then bring it towards the center. The idea is that, well, it's not going to really matter too much because I am going to put a piece of ribbon there to kind of pull the two sides together. All right, here we go. I'm trying to put it on kind of thick so it doesn't dry before I get to pour in the velvet on here. It's pretty thick. I thought this would be fun for Christmas. I've seen this before, and I've wanted to get some. I thought I bought some a while back, like a year ago, but I didn't see it. All right, this is going in my water. All right, here we go, y'all. Let's see what happens. Ooh. Now, they do sell it in like a pen where you can kind of squirt it on there. There might be some advantages to that. There might be a better way to do this, but I'm not sure what it is. Kind of packed in there. Whoa. All right, I'm going to try and see if I can tamp this down in here. And I don't know if you can do 2 coats of this or not. Did it say anything on YouTube about 1 or 2 coats, Lindell? Just going to kind of tamp this in here. See if any more will stick. Yeah, that's kind of cool. It's not as thick as I thought it would be. Maybe I needed to put more. All right, let me show y'all what I have. Look at that. That's the back, and that's the front. And it matched pretty well. The reds match up pretty well. It doesn't look like it matches as well on the camera as it does in person. I paint my ornament with a, oh, you know what? And sprinkle the baking soda. I probably should have painted this red on the back. That's a great suggestion. Okay, so there we go. So that's, I can see we're making it, doing a coat of red first will make a big difference. All right, so this is our experiment piece. I'm going to try it. Let's just for kicks. All right, this is experiment night, right? We've already messed up, so I'm gonna put another coat of this on top and see what happens. All right, I think that's a great suggestion that Lindell gave us, is whatever color of velvet you have, go ahead and do a coat of paint. Yeah, it's not working out as well as I thought it would, but let's just go for it. Since I didn't paint it. Is anybody else kind of like when you mess up, you're like kind of glad that you did, because now you know that you could just kind of spread your wings and you can't make it any worse than it already is. So you just go for new things and learn new stuff. It's kind of crazy how that works, isn't it? All right. I'm just going to town on it now. All right, back in the water. Hold on a minute. I'm going to see if I can pick this up. Make a spout. All right, that's good enough. All right, let's try putting some more on here and see what happens. I got a big bottle of it, so we got plenty to play with. I get roped into buying the bigger bottle because it's like $3 more for, 3 times as much or something like that. It's like, well, and then I have a house full of stuff. All right, that looks better. I'm glad I did the second coat. All right, so I think that definitely the moral of this story is, okay, that looks much better. Can y'all see the difference? It looks a lot more orange, kind of a yellow red than it is in person. This is the front. This is the back. And then we're going to put a ribbon on this. So let me close up my Mod Podge. And we're going to put our, oops, there's a hole. There's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, dear Liza. There's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza. Hole. And then fix it, dear Henry, dear Henry. I had a hole in the paper and all the stuff went through there. All right, I don't need all of that. I'm not going to try and get every last drop in there at this point. All right, I still think, all right, second coat is good. Okay, I like the second coat. Cool, cool, cool. But I don't want this to go flying when I pull this heat machine out. All right, I got an idea. I got an idea. Rather than try and chase this stuff all around. More than one way to skin a cat, right? I'm just going to pick it up with some tape. There we go. There we go. Okay. Got a little bit left on there that I can get later. All right. So now we're going to try drying this again and hoping that it doesn't implode anymore on us. I've seen it done with just paint. Oh, why don't they? There we go. Paint and then baking soda. Let it sit for a little. And then lightly brush the soda off. So you're telling me I wasted my money is what y'all are telling me. That makes sense. So the paint colors the baking soda and makes it look like, this feels soft though. Well, the nice thing to know about that is you don't have to have a whole lot of colors because you already have the paint, right? Makes sense. All right, I like that idea. All right, let's try getting our ribbon on here. Somewhere in here. Let me get my scissors. So, I told y'all all of that about Thanksgiving to tell you this. It was so good to see everyone because we're kind of like scattered. My husband's hour and a half away taking care, making sure that the people who are taking care of his mom are taking care of her. You know, you can't just leave anybody anywhere these days. And then our son, our younger son, he's several hours away, so I don't see him very much, and he works a lot. I know how all this started. Somehow we were talking about second chances, and he wrote a song called Second Chances. It's one of my favorites. He's got a lot of my favorites that I like. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's see how this is going to look. Well, it would help if I had a better circle. All right, I like that. I think I want to, well, I didn't bring it up far enough, so we're gonna bring that there. All right, let's get some glue. I probably could have done a glue gun, but I'm not doing that. Let's do, Lindell, will this work for fabric? You're the one that recommended this glue to me. I know it's good for paper. Will it work for fabric? Have you ever used it with fabric? I like this. This is going to be fun. What do you think? Or should I do Eileen's? I've got Eileen's too. Boy, this is like really kind of wonky. I like that, y'all. Okay. But I think that you could still do a layer of paint underneath it. But I guess if you're going to paint it anyway, why not do the... It was kind of hard to find the hole with that. All right, let me see. I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go with Eileen's, or whatever her name is. Eileen's? Is it Eileen's? Is that how you say her name? All right, here we go, y'all. We're going to just go with this. So it's so funny because, like I said, my husband and I went to Cracker Barrel together, and then we came back because my son showed up, and then we went back to Cracker Barrel again, and the waitress who waited on us was still working. She walked by our table and she goes, "Huh?" I said, "Yeah, we're back." And all right, here we go, y'all. I just kind of didn't get quite. Now, this would look much better if we didn't have all this implosion here. I guess if that's a word. The implosion of the, you could put gold, all right, let's see here. Let me make sure we get this. You could put gold, what do you call it? Rhinestone trim. That would be pretty too. But this is a little bit wider, so you don't want it too wide because you're working on a circle. And you always take the chance of your circle. Uh-oh. You would want to let this dry before you let it sit down on the table, y'all. See what happened? It kind of moved. Kind of shifted, but what's okay. This is our prototype, right? So that we know what to do next time. All right, let me get a little bit more glue underneath here. This is not hanging on anybody's tree, so I'm not too worried about it. I could go ahead and put more on there, like the red velvet stuff, but like I said, it's no sense in wasting it. We can get it. We got an idea what we're doing. I do like the crackle. The colors of the red with the ribbon is just a little bit off, and some people may not notice it, but I do. Okay, so this is what we have. All right, so this is the front, and then we got the ribbon, and then we got the the messed up back. So when y'all do it, you can do it right. Okay, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and put this down, and we're going to put this little guy back in here. Now, one of the things that we could do, all right, I saw somebody show this trick here. If you can bring that up and have it stable, then you can put your little lid on here and then pop it down in there. All right, let's see if we can get some of this gold gilding wax on this, if it'll stay. I don't know if it will or not, but like I said, hey Jessica. This is our experimenting night. It was supposed to be a real ornament. All right, looks like we could do that. You could also, I've got, what's it called? Gold leaf paint or something like that. That would work better. This isn't really doing much. All right. So, the moral of the story is the biggest thing that I can tell y'all that is critical when you're working with these ornaments from Hobby Lobby. Do not put too much heat on them. And I'm going to show y'all, for those of you that just came on, I'm going to show you why. Because it doesn't look as bad since we got the... let's see if I can show you. You can't see it as much, but you can see how it's all wonky. It's all out of shape. It melted it, and it didn't take a whole lot of heat to melt it. But this is what we have in the front with the crackle and the snowman. I think I'm going to probably try and get a flatter surface or a different image. And then this is just kind of, it was still wet and I put it down. But I do like the velvet. It is pretty with that. But the ribbon and the velvet are not not the same red. And that would bother me. Some people it doesn't bother, but I know, you know, all of y'all, you probably noticed that too. All right, so there we go. So this is what we have. We've got our little snowman. He looks kind of cute from the front. We just won't turn him around in the back. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all hopping on and joining me tonight. Thanks for hanging with me and chatting with me. I'm Julie with Nothing is Wasted Designs, and for those of you that are just coming on at the end of this, if you do not see the red live button in the top of the screen, top left screen, then go back and watch the replay. Y'all have a great night. I love you. Jesus loves you more. All right. Bye-bye.